Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Elora, Ontario, Canada. Deemed one of the most beautiful towns or villages in Ontario and one of the most beautiful towns or villages in Canada. Now the purpose of this video is I'm going to walk through the kind of heart of the town here, give you a bunch of information. I don't do a lot of videos like this, but look at that view. That is the Elora Mill there on the right, and those are the new condominiums on the left. And I have just been with a friend in those condominiums. They are good looking. They've got some good views over the nice waterfall down there and the mill. Now looking back this way, this is would be the bridge that brings you into Elora that the cars are going to come across, and that way would be Fergus if you went up the river that way. We're going to go for a bit of a walk through here. I'm going to talk and give you as much information as possible. I've done a number of videos on Elora over the years. I think the last one I did was 4 or 5 years ago, where I just did kind of a walk through the village. But I'm going to do a little bit of talking, give you a little bit of information. This walkway or bridge that we're coming across was built in 2019. Now I believe it was demolished in 2003 or 2006, and it took, I guess, 13 years for them to build it. Instead of going across that Metcalf bridge, it's nice to go across this walkway. So right there you can see, right by the Elora Mill, there is this big kind of waterfall there. And if you're ever having dinner or you've got a hotel in the Elora Mill, you can see the nice waterfall there. And this is the other side. And like I said, if you go up the river here, you would come into Fergus, or as my parents used to say, Fargus. A lot of Scottish people there. My mother, being, I guess, part Scottish, was born there in Fergus. And you can rent kayaks, some sort of water stuff, and head up the river there. You can't go the other way because you're going to head down that little waterfall there. So we are coming across the bridge into, I guess, downtown Elora here. I'll read you a little bit of information, and if you have any questions about Elora, pop it in the comments section. You're always going to have these buskers. Some of them are pretty good, actually, and their repertoire is good, and you can kind of sit along a little stone wall there and just listen to them and be entertained. It's a beautiful day here, and to give you a little bit more background information, this is late summer, early fall. I might do another video a little bit later in the year when the leaves change color. This area of southwestern Ontario is beautiful in the fall when the leaves start changing color. Now, this is Elora, Ontario, 10 minutes from Fergus. There's an Elora Fergus, not highway, but road that runs right from Fergus right into Elora. Also, you've got about 30 minutes from Guelph, Ontario, big university town. You're about 30 to 40 minutes from Kitchener-Waterloo area. 90 minutes or a little bit less from Toronto. Now if you're from Mississauga or Brampton or this side of Toronto, it would be even less time to get from that area into Elora here. Now this is deemed, other than it being the most beautiful village in Ontario or Canada, it's also the most trippable, day trippable. People want to come here. So this is the gate for the Elora Mill. Now this Elora Mill has been around for a long time. It's in a 5-story Elora grist mill. Back in the day, it was built in 1832, and through its history housed a sawmill, distillery, and flour mill. In the 1970s, it became a hotel called the Elora Mill Inn, which closed in 2010. And there were these plans. They've really refurbished things. This thing's at another level right now. 2017, The Elora Mill Inn and Spa, $120 million project, world-class resort, 250 jobs to the area, and it opened in the spring of 2018. If you've ever had the luxury to go in there, whether it be to stay or in for a meal, following a $27 million renovation, the Elora Mill Hotel and Spa, owned by Pearl Hospitality, opened in July 2018, employing 170 people and featuring 30 rooms and a restaurant. I've known a number of NHL hockey players that have their weddings there. There's Hollywood, there's elite singer-songwriters in the biz that have had their weddings there, and big ceremonies and big parties. So it is high class, expensive, and it takes a lot of money just to kind of get in there. Like I said, you've got the gates there, they're not letting anybody in, but you can kind of, you saw there was a wedding going on in there, and the chapel is just across that walkway that we came across. And they'll have the wedding in there often, and they will walk across there and then head into the mill and have the party. So this is the Mews, the Elora Mews. I'll show you the sign here. We're gonna go in. I always loved coming down here as a youngster and a teenager, and there's this cool ice cream shop coming in here, and I remember having some of the new ice cream flavors of the day. So there it is, the Elora Mews. You want to check it out, eloramews.com. And there's been a number of people I know that have worked in that ice cream shop in their summer jobs and growing up. One of my favorite places to go in there, get a nice ice cream, sit here, watch the world go by. Now, right now the time of day is approximately 11:30, so I wanted to get here before it was too busy, but it's a beautiful day. Look at the little artwork here. And this is what Elora is all about. These little knickknacks, every kind of square foot of this place is at the next level. The little trees, the flowers. You got a little rickshaw there. I'll take a little view of that when I kind of turn back around. And the irony here is this rickshaw. Now, Elora kind of comes from the Elora, and I think it's the Ajanta caves in India. And growing up a half hour from Elora here, I did not know this whole notion about this name Elora. Elora comes from these caves in India. So here's this rickshaw. And having spent a year over in India and that part of the world, and being in rickshaws like that, and going to the Elora and Ajanta caves, it just, it's kind of weird that you grow up a half hour from, this small, beautiful town in Canada, and then you travel halfway around the world just to go to the Elora caves in India. Now, this is that famous ice cream shop in here, a lot of good food, so if you're looking for a little snack or something, you can head on in there, and over to the left is all these ice cream flavors. I'm a sucker for an ice cream, I'll tell you that much. So, we're going to kind of continue with the walk, and I'll say Elora is a small, charming village in Ontario, often called Ontario's most beautiful village. Also, it's been deemed one of the most visited places in Canada. And I think, where do people go to in Canada when they want to visit it? I guess you'd probably say Toronto, Canada, Ottawa, which is the capital, Vancouver would obviously be up there, maybe Whistler for some skiing. And they're saying that Elora is on that list because I think a lot of people come into southwestern Ontario and maybe they're visiting Ottawa, Toronto, and this place is only about 90 minutes from Toronto. So I think it's a good day trip from anybody that's visiting this area of the world. And the last one I forgot would be Niagara Falls, honeymoon capital of the world. So when you look at what's within an hour and a half of Toronto, Canada, one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the world, you got Elora. So the Gorge Cinema, this place has been around forever. Shout out to Nick working there. Remember going in there and watching a bunch of movies back in the day. That is a very interesting kind of little artsy fartsy cinema if you want to go in there. Huge art community here in Elora. Also give another shout out, like look at that, I guess that is a moose. You're going to see a bunch of these kind of animals in wood carvings around the town. You've got your mushrooms, but another shout out, Riverfest, which is a really cool up and coming music festival, was just down the road, probably less than a kilometer. And City in Color was there this year, and there's been a lot of kind of cool bands that have come through there, and they continue to grow that festival with some really good administrators that are picking the acts, and they're still keeping a kind of a small town kind of vibe, and very artistic driven community here. We're going to walk up here, and this is kind of new for me in the last couple years. They've opened up this kind of laneway right here, and I didn't do that on my last walk, which would have been 4 or 5 years ago that I was up here. And just a quaint little place. Love those Muskoka chairs. Grab something to eat, sit down. So photogenic. Like if you're into Instagram and you want some pics, this is a cool place to come to. We're just up at Blue Mountain, a ski resort just north of here, another hour or so, and another Instagrammable place. So if you are in the Toronto area around summer, even in the fall, this is a really cool area. You can see the leaves there just starting to change a little bit. And within the next probably month or so, this place will be packed, and it'll be packed probably in 2 or 3 hours. It'll really heat up the Saft, and coming up here in the summer on a Sunday afternoon, it's wall to wall. Another place within an hour of here is St. Jacobs, and they'll probably be getting the La Chienne Chaude, the hot dog. They'll probably be getting the syrup at the St. Jacobs Market right near Elmira. So there are a number of small villages. If you're out with the kids, out with the family, you want to take a few day trips from Toronto or the Toronto area, if you're in Kitchener, if you're in Hamilton, down in Niagara Falls, within a couple hours of all those places, this would be, as they call it, the most trippable village in Ontario. So we are going to head out here, and we're going to go down into the park. We're going to go back across a couple little shops and stuff like that, and then back across where we started. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of a walk around here, and normally I do the walk, but I don't give a lot of information. So Elora is known for its natural beauty, historical architecture, and thriving art scene. Art is everywhere. I talked about the Riverfest that was just on. There's also the Elora Festival. It's more classical and choral music, where the Riverfest, Elora, is more indie, folk, rock music, international talent. So the Elora Gorge, which is about 500 meters from here. So if you're downtown, what I'm going to do is I will do another video on the gorge in the next couple days, take you for a walk down there. Now some people don't like to go down there because they think it's a little bit dangerous going down the steps to see it. But what I will do is I will start right from my car. I will walk around the area and go down those stairs so you can see how dangerous it is. Like if you're bringing the kids, or if you're a little bit older and you're not sure about the steps going down there, I will do that walk, and let's say I put it out in the next few days. If you are in this Elora area, you've got the downtown area, but you've also got the gorge, which is, like I said, about 500 meters from here. You could easily walk over there. You've also got the Elora Quarry, and I have not done a video on the quarry, but maybe I can do one in the next little while. So the Elora Gorge is one of Elora's biggest attractions. It features dramatic 22-meter high limestone cliffs carved by the Grand River. Now that river that we went over, that initial walkway, is the Grand River. It kind of goes down into this waterfall and it comes out into the gorge, but because it's later in the year right now, late August, early September, there's not as much water flowing down there, so it's not really fast flowing. And like I said, I'll go do a walk down there. So we're down here in the park. There's usually some other buskers down there. We'll walk by them. Elora's popular for biking. Tubing also down. You can go tubing down the gorge. Also, there's a lot of kayakers and a lot of young kayakers that are training there, and photography. And like I said, I'll do a video in the next few days of the gorge and let you know how dangerous it is walking down there. The Elora Quarry nearby has a natural swimming hole surrounded by cliffs, a summer hot spot. We're going to go down there later on. I'm going to film some stuff. So, history and architecture. Elora was founded in the 1830s by Scottish settlers. Now, Fergus, which is 10 minutes down the road there, is also known for its Scottish heritage. So, a lot of Scots around here. Distinctive 19th century limestone buildings, many of which are now cafes, galleries, and shops. We're going to walk through a couple galleries as we cross the road here. It's home to the Elora Center of the Arts and many local galleries. We will see them. And I want to say another shout out to all the artists I know that have been shown in some of these galleries. Artists and musicians have long been drawn to Elora's scenery and creative vibe. Food and drink scene, known for its local cafes, farm-to-table restaurants, and craft breweries. Now, if we would have gone the other way, we would have seen the Wellington Brewery, and the Elora Brewery Company is a famous spot for visitors, and maybe I'll do a little walk back up that way another time. Surrounding farmland contributes to fresh, seasonal menus. Now this guy, this busker, is usually back on that little walkway we went over. Awesome, cool, he's out there a lot. So outdoor recreation, hiking trails along the Grand River, tubing and rafting in the gorge, usually earlier on in the year, in the spring. Cycling routes and nearby conservation areas make it for an outdoor lover's paradise. We are going to cross the road and there's a whole bunch of galleries and shops along here that we'll walk by. Now when it comes to film and media, the stunning scenery has been used as a film location for movies and TV shows. I've got some information here, and there's probably 100 movies that have been shot here in the last number of years. It's just so pretty and quaint.
Look it up.
Often pops up in Canada productions because of its unique cinematic backdrop. So we're going to walk down here. You got a few kind of cafes and restaurants to the right, but we're going to just walk by it. Popular weekend getaway from Toronto and Kitchener-Waterloo and Guelph and a number of other places I've mentioned. It's easy to just pop in here, and it is so quaint. Maybe grab a beat, get this artistic vibe. It's a mix of small town friendliness with cosmopolitan touches, and that's because you have a lot of Toronto people coming on in. Appeals to nature lovers, history buffs, foodies, and art enthusiasts alike. Because I can only, this video, I feel like I've been talking, we're already 18 minutes into this video. I haven't even really walked into too many of these places to check it out because I want to give you as much information and hopefully get you in here and you can kind of suss out and spend time where you want to spend time. It is nicknamed Ontario's most beautiful village. The quarry was once a limestone pit before becoming a swimming hole, and it's home to one of Canada's top choral ensembles, the Elora Singers. Elora blends this nature with the gorge and the quarry, history with all these kind of buildings, came to fruition in 1830, and culture all in one package with this art tying it all together. A perfect place to slow down, explore, and enjoy Ontario's countryside charm. And part of it is the drive getting here. You're going to go by a lot of farms. You might see some Mennonites. You're going to see some nice greenery, some farmers' fields, etc. Now we're going to come back across the Grand River here. If you really want to, you can grab a kayak or a canoe and go up the river. And here's this guy. It's just a beautiful day. It just makes for a really kind of cool, relaxing day. Temperature's about 22 degrees. Still warming up today. People still have kind of some jackets on, but in 2 or 3 hours it's going to be up in the mid-20s. And look at the clouds. It's been a beautiful day here coming up here. And although I'm only walking around for 25 minutes doing a video, we will be spending the rest of the afternoon here. We're going to head over to the gorge and go down the gorge, do another video, and then probably come back in for a bite to eat. And if you're into craft beer, burger, fries, if you're looking for something a little bit more vegetarian, you came to the right place. Elora has a plethora of options. And I'm going to look probably to the right and to the left. This is the Grand River, and it's a little bit later in the season, but those condos are new, and I was in them a couple of weeks ago. They've just got a really good view, especially down onto the waterfall there, and you can see the Elora Mill on the right. Actually, from that condo, you can kind of see down into the restaurant at the Elora Mill, and I haven't actually had a meal in there. A lot of people I know have it. It is a little bit pricey, but it's an event, and you get a lot of this farm-to-table healthy foods, and the foods are from within 10 miles of here. And if that's your jam and you want to do something like that, this might be the place if you're looking for a little Saturday or Sunday getaway. We'll come back over again, and there's another kind of a better shot of the Elora Mill. You can kind of see the drop off there, and that's where you can hear the rushing water. And we'll head down into the gorge right now and give you a little video on that. So I want to say thanks for coming along on the walk. Beautiful place, Elora, Ontario, Canada. If you're within an hour or so of Toronto and you're looking for a day trip, you're hitting probably Niagara Falls, Elora should be second probably on your list. I'll say ciao for now from the beautiful Elora, Ontario, Canada.